You're now tuned into Psyk's weekly Nerf dosage.
Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to episode 110 of PWND. This episode is going to be a short one. It's just about my post-mod review of the Nerf rival Apollo, and the reason why it's a post-mod is because by now there's a plethora of review videos and opinion videos about the Nerf rival line. That includes both the Apollo and the Zeus. But I bought this off Amazon through a friend of mine, Justin, and I decided to go with the Apollo and not getting the Zeus because you guys know me, I'm not such a fan of flywheels, and I thought that a Springer blaster would actually, have some kind of mod potential. So there's no annotations and whatever, we'll just go straight into it. You guys have actually seen one of my previous videos. Okay, the first video that I actually took of the Apollo was my lemon Apollo. So the bolt lock, or the priming lock, was deactivated, and it's the last lock in the gearbox. Not the gearbox, the gearbox, the last lock in the gearbox, and the spring was misaligned. It was just like, it wasn't like that, it was bent at a 90-degree angle, so the lock was deactivated all the time, and I realized that I could prime it more than once, and I realized that it was chambering more than one ball at a time. So you can click the annotation over here to check it out. I'm pretty sure you have already. It could chamber up to about 4 balls into the holding chamber, or the breech I should say, but if you go up to 4, it doesn't really work all the time. You could go up to 3, which is a bit more safe. So yeah, but then eventually I wanted to open it up just so I could study the internals, and I realized that the plunger tube would fit a 15mm or half-inch coupler perfectly, like snug, almost friction fit. So what I did was I just got the plunger tube, the opening, and I just gooped that in with a ring of goop around the outside to maintain the seal. I have a picture, I think. I have a picture. I think I'll put it here. Plunger tube is not that big. I think it's comparable to the Mega Blasters like the Magnus or the Cyclone Shock. Definitely not as big as a long shot, and slightly smaller than the usual stuff that we use for homemades. So definitely it didn't really have that great of air volume inside. Yeah, so because of that, I undid the mod. I didn't want it to fire off darts anymore. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, you can check the video over here that I made. But it's a really simple mod. Just grab a coupler, goop it in place, remove the front breech, and you're good to go. Then you can just use a standard half-inch pipe and you can coupler in. So in your pipe, you can, you just whatever material you want to sleeve inside, PVG, brass, CBVC, redline barrels, whatever, that aluminum thing that you guys have in the States. I think that's a really amazing material, by the way. So it wasn't performing up to the kind of expectations that I thought it would be. I wasn't that blown away. It got good ranges for sure. Whether or not the dart fit was like a snug fit or a twist fit, I felt that performance out of a Cyclone Shock or a properly modified Magnus was way better. So I decided, it's kind of strange, right, to have like a whole Apollo just firing darts. The other thing I wanted to do was, or explore, was to have it clip fed and breached to fire off streamline size darts. But I realized when I studied the internal system that this was an automatic opening breech. Now, every time you pull it back, there's a little like seesawing mechanism over here that pushes the breech open forward just wide enough to accept one ball in, and it will close up. And what I felt that if you wanted, or if anyone wanted to make it an automatic breaching system to chamber darts, it was going to take a lot of work. Plus, you'd have to cut a hole in the shell somewhere to accommodate your clip. And I decided, nah, I think this should remain what it is, as a ball shooter. That's because the Magnus and the Cyclone Shock on the Mega line are already natively dart blasters. You just have to make the barrels of the turrets a bit smaller, narrower, so it can hold streamlined darts. But this, since it was a ball shooter, I decided to unmod it because thank goodness that mod that I did you know, was a reversible mod. Now for me, as much as I can, I want to make sure that my mods are reversible, especially when it's, you know, something like this, trying out what performances would be if you fire off a dart instead of a ball. So yeah, lucky me, I was able to make it a completely reversible mod. So I kind of like basically filmed down the process of undoing the mod, and it's a really simple thing, so I just filmed it out anyways. Check it out.
Yep, so I'm undoing my mod, and basically, well, if you guys just take a look, it's a perfect fit for a 15mm coupler or a 1/2 inch PVC coupler. So all I'm gonna do is just take this out and put everything back in place, and that's basically it. So I just wanted to show you guys that this coupler is a complete friction fit, but in order to maintain the seal, I applied a ring of goop around it at the lip. So yeah, it's really that simple. And yeah, there is like a little like AR system on the inside. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, you can now. It's really crappy. Like even without like activating the AR, the air just passes through anyway. So yeah, and if you guys are wondering about my lemon, quote unquote lemon, it was actually one of the locks in here. It was the last lock, this one right here. And when I opened it up to check it out, the spring was out of place. So that was all the way disengaged, and therefore it caused me to be able to, or let me be able to, prime the blaster a few times. Alright, so I'm just gonna take that out and close everything back. That's it!
That's exactly how simple it was. If you guys already have some experience in modding, this is really simple. The next thing is, I went ahead and I did another mod to this guy, and what I did was something more practical. I personally feel is more practical. It's adding a return spring to this slide over here, or the priming rod, whatever this is, the priming grip or slide. So it's a return spring, very much like the old days when we had, you know, Mavericks that we just pull back and let go, and then it would spring back, like the strong arm, etc. So here we go, just prime it back, let it go. Comes all the way front, and it's good enough to chamber and fire off a ball. Here we go, and the performance is great. I didn't upgrade the springs inside because I don't want to destroy the gears, but I did re-loop everything, and it's really good now. You guys are probably wondering how this mod is done. It's also a really simple mod, and you know, this to me is a pretty darn practical mod, and I took a video of that. Check it out.
Alright, it is what it is, people. As you can see, we have a couple more extension springs inside. First one being here, the second one being this one. This extension spring over here is the trigger return spring. Now these are actually from the same return spring, I just kind of cut it down. So you guys just have to find a return spring or an extension spring basically that is suitable for both. Yeah. First one is hooked onto the screw pot over here. I had to cut out a little bit of the plastic on the inside of the screw pot. I mean, not the inside, I mean the wall of the screw pot, so that the coils could go down, and then the other half of the shell could cover. And then it goes onto this little part over here. As you can see, there's a screw, and that screw is actually a little hole that I made with a little drill bit, and I screwed it into the slide piece on top, as you can see. And this one over here is even more simple. All I did was just loop one end onto the metal pin over here, and another end onto the original hook for the trigger return spring. So as you can see, the blaster is already in the prime position. So this is what it does. The first one, when you pull it, okay, this ensures that the slide goes all the way to the front. That's what the first extension spring does. The second one makes sure that the breech is always closed. So when you pull it back, as you can see, it will only activate the breech only towards the back of the priming pull or the draw. So that's what happens. Okay, and then when you let go, breech closes first, then this closes, as opposed to originally this part over here would be, the black part will be pushing against the top of this slide, so then it will only close once you push this to the front. So it kind of works like that. Just pull it back, and then it would just spring back into place automatically, like so. And I love it, and yeah, that's how I did it.
It's really simple, right? So yeah, I told you. I guess I am kind of happy I did this because it's more like a practical kind of mod. Yeah, I went ahead and removed the lock completely instead of like leaving it in its jammed state. What in the world? Heard a sound. But anyway, yeah, so I think that having the return spring is a pretty darn practical thing, because you don't have to always have your hand pushing this forward in the event that you just want to hurry up and prime one and then run around and fire at a target, instead of having to, because this, I feel this is kind of awkward, like aiming with this up here, it's kind of awkward, or like priming it back and pushing it forward and then trying to aim. So if you could just like, and then let go, and then that'll be perfect. So, oh, I didn't even prime it, did I? Oh, I didn't. Oh, my bad, guys. Yeah, so yeah, I thought that doing this is just really good. It's a lot simpler, and these balls just fall everywhere. So that's it. I like the Apollo for what it is as a ball blaster. I personally feel that it shouldn't be a dart blaster because of the way it's designed, ergonomics and everything. So it's really entirely up to you guys. Now I apologize for the short video this episode, because it's really hectic at work now. It's kind of like crunch time. Everything is in an urgent state. So yeah, I'm not able to give you guys a long video as usual. But I hope that you guys like this, and thank you so much for the support and for sticking throughout. If you guys have a question about, like I guess if you guys want to know more about what I think about modding the Apollo, or what I thought about, like the ranges and everything, just shoot me in the comment section and I will reply you. If not, then I guess I gotta get my ass to work. So drills pay the bills and teamwork makes the dream work. If you guys like this video, I hope you guys give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I hope that you guys consider subscribing. And I will catch you guys at the next episode. Promise there's a lot more things that I want to share with you guys. Peace!